If Star Trek Legacy happens, Jeri Ryan can tie an impressive Michael Dorn record. For decades, Star Trek has built a pantheon of iconic characters played by actors whose tenure in the franchise spans generations. Among them, Michael Dorn stands as a towering figure, not just for his portrayal of the stoic Klingon Worf, but for the sheer number of hours, episodes, and series in which he's appeared. Dorn has the impressive distinction of being the actor with the most appearances in Star Trek history, thanks to his starring roles in both The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, along with appearances in the films and, most recently, in Star Trek Picard Season 3. But there's one woman now poised to match that long-standing record, Jeri Ryan. If Star Trek Legacy moves forward, not only will it continue the successful momentum from Picard's final season, but it will also give Seven of Nine a commanding role that could solidify her as one of Star Trek's most enduring characters. And in doing so, Jeri Ryan would tie Michael Dorn's incredible legacy. 7 of 9, from Borg drone to captain. When Jeri Ryan joined Star Trek Voyager in Season 4, she injected new life into the series as 7 of 9, the ex-Borg drone with a sharp mind, a fierce spirit, and a journey of self-discovery that resonated deeply with fans. At the time, she was a controversial addition, with some accusing the producers of adding her to boost ratings due to her striking appearance. But those early critiques quickly faded. Ryan's acting elevated the character, turning Seven into one of Voyager's most complex and beloved figures. What made Seven stand out wasn't just her backstory as a former Borg, it was the layered emotional arc she underwent. Her struggle to reclaim her humanity, to understand individuality, and to find purpose outside of the collective provided a powerful allegory for trauma recovery, identity, and growth. Over the course of 4 seasons, Ryan turned Seven into a fully realized Star Trek character, not just a gimmick. When Picard brought her back in Season 1, fans were thrilled, but it was Picard Season 3 that truly redeemed and celebrated her character. Promoted to captain of the USS Enterprise G by the end of the season, 7 of 9 finally claimed the command role that had been denied her throughout Voyager. Her development came full circle, evolving from an outsider struggling to fit into the respected leader of Starfleet's most famous ship. Why Star Trek Legacy is the perfect next chapter. Terry Matalas, showrunner of Picard Season 3, has made no secret of his desire to continue the story in a new series dubbed Star Trek Legacy. The idea behind Legacy is brilliant in its simplicity. Continue the adventures of the next generation of characters introduced in Picard Season 3, including Captain 7 of 9, First Officer Raffi Musiker, and the young Jack Crusher, aboard the Enterprise G. It would represent a passing of the torch in the most literal way. Much like The Next Generation did with the original series, Legacy could explore how these new characters forged their own paths while staying true to the legacy of those who came before. But it also offers something else, a chance to give Jeri Ryan the same longevity that actors like Michael Dorn and Patrick Stewart enjoyed. Ryan has now appeared in 3 different Star Trek series Voyager, Picard, and Lower Decks via voice cameo. With Legacy, she could solidify a 4-series run as a central figure and possibly surpass Dorn in total screen time, depending on the series' duration. The Michael Dorn benchmark. To understand how significant this is, let's look at what Michael Dorn accomplished. Dorn played Worf in Star Trek The Next Generation 7 seasons, Star Trek Deep Space Nine 4 seasons, 4 Star Trek feature films Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis, Star Trek Picard Season 3. That's over 270 episodes of television and a handful of movies, making Dorn the most prolific actor in the franchise's history in terms of hours logged in character. Jeri Ryan, by comparison, has 4 seasons of Voyager, 70 episodes, 3 seasons of Picard with recurring and then main character status, voice work in Star Trek Lower Decks, potentially a starring role in Star Trek Legacy. By conservative estimates, another 3 to 5 seasons of Legacy could push Ryan's total well over 150 episodes, especially if she appears in future films or crossovers. It's not an exact science, but the symbolic importance is more critical than the numbers. tying or surpassing Dorn would represent a rare and prestigious achievement, especially for a female lead in a historically male-dominated franchise. A new standard for female leads. Jeri Ryan achieving this milestone would be more than a personal victory. It would be a major moment for Star Trek's ongoing effort to diversify its leadership on screen. While the franchise has long championed inclusivity and representation, most of its long-serving leads have been men: Patrick Stewart, Avery Brooks, William Shatner, and yes, Michael Dorn. There are exceptions like Kate Mulgrew, Captain Janeway, and Sonequa Martin Green, Captain Burnham, but the path for women to become franchise mainstays has often been rockier. 7 of 9's rise to captain represents a shift in that dynamic. She's not just a former side character promoted for nostalgia, she's the heart of a new era. She embodies intellect, strength, trauma survival, and leadership, all without losing the essence of her unique character background. She doesn't need to act like Kirk or Picard to be respected as a captain. She's leading as 7, with all the baggage, complexity, and compassion that comes with it. If Legacy is greenlit, she could lead the series as its anchor, proving that female characters can have just as much longevity and cultural impact as their male counterparts. The character evolution that makes it worth it. Another reason Legacy is so crucial to Jeri Ryan's record-tying potential is how well it aligns with Seven's arc. She's come a long way from the reluctant Starfleet collaborator on Voyager, and even further from the emotionally conflicted Fenris Ranger in Picard Season 1. The beauty of Legacy would be in watching Seven define her own style of command, likely distinct from the Starfleet brass's expectations. She is not the by-the-book captain that Starfleet typically promotes. But her tactical brilliance, her moral compass, and her fierce loyalty to her crew, all honed over years of hardship, make her a compelling, grounded leader. Watching Seven grow into that role over multiple seasons would be the kind of long-form storytelling Star Trek excels at. We'd see her face ethical dilemmas, political tensions within Starfleet, and the burden of legacy, all while mentoring younger officers like Jack Crusher, who's as much a wild card as she once was. The fans want it, and so does the franchise. Perhaps the biggest reason Star Trek, Legacy, and Jeri Ryan's continued reign make sense is that fans are ready. Social media campaigns calling for Legacy have been persistent since Picard ended. Fan art, petitions, and panel Q and has continued to flood the fandom with enthusiasm for a spin-off centered around Seven. Even beyond fandom, Jeri Ryan has expressed enthusiasm about continuing the role. Terry Matalas has a vision. The groundwork is laid. The Enterprise G is waiting to explore strange new worlds again. From a franchise perspective, Legacy offers a smart way to continue Star Trek's legacy, pun intended, without rebooting or retconning. It embraces what came before while pushing forward. In a streaming era where character-based spin-offs thrive, 7 of 9 is the